atmosphere inside Buckingham Palace had become impossible to ignore. Behind the polished doors and carefully maintained traditions, tension was quietly building. Courtiers whispered in hushed tones. Senior aides exchanged concerned glances. Even veteran royal observers sensed that something unusual was unfolding behind the scenes. And at the center of it all stood two women whose relationship had become the subject of endless speculation. Catherine, Princess of Wales, known for her composure, patience, and unwavering respect for royal tradition, and Queen Camilla, a figure whose position within the monarchy had often attracted public attention and controversy. For years, Catherine had carefully followed every royal rule, every protocol, every expectation placed upon her. She had become the embodiment of dignity and discipline. No matter the challenge, she rarely allowed emotions to become public. But according to palace insiders, something changed. Something happened that left Catherine facing a decision nobody expected her to make. And when she finally acted, the entire royal household was left stunned. Because for the first time, Catherine appeared willing to break one of the monarchy's most sacred unwritten rules, the rule of silence. All reportedly began during preparations for a major royal function. The event was intended to showcase unity at the highest levels of the monarchy. Every detail had been carefully planned months in advance. Seating arrangements were reviewed repeatedly. Speaking roles were assigned. Public appearances were coordinated down to the minute. Everything was supposed to run smoothly, until unexpected changes began appearing. Several sources close to palace operations claimed that alterations were made to key portions of the event schedule. While such changes were not unusual in themselves, what raised eyebrows was who appeared to benefit from them. According to reports circulating among royal commentators, certain appearances originally expected to highlight Catherine's charitable initiatives were quietly adjusted. The result? Attention appeared to shift elsewhere. At first, Catherine reportedly said nothing, as always. Those who know her have often described her greatest strength as restraint. Throughout years of public scrutiny, she consistently avoided confrontation and focused on her duties. But this time, palace observers noticed something different. The Princess of Wales was listening carefully, watching closely, and remembering everything. Meanwhile, rumors surrounding Queen Camilla's involvement began spreading rapidly. No official confirmation ever emerged. The palace, as expected, remained silent, yet the whispers continued. Some believed Camilla had merely supported routine scheduling changes. Others argued that boundaries had been crossed. What nobody anticipated was Catherine's response. Rather than addressing the issue privately, she reportedly began making subtle but highly visible decisions that sent a powerful message. The first sign appeared during a public engagement. Royal protocol traditionally emphasizes collective representation. Individual royals are expected to support the institution rather than draw attention to personal disagreements. Yet observers noticed Catherine taking an unusually independent approach. She focused entirely on projects directly connected to her own initiatives. Her speeches emphasized long-term commitments. Her public appearances highlighted causes she had personally championed. And perhaps most significantly, she did so with remarkable confidence. Royal experts immediately took notice. Many interpreted the move as more than simple dedication. They saw it as a declaration. A statement that Catherine intended to define her own role within the future monarchy, rather than allow others to define it for her. The public reaction was immediate. Supporters praised her professionalism. Commentators described her as focused, disciplined, and quietly determined. Social media exploded with discussions about what might be happening behind palace walls. Was Catherine sending a message? Had tensions finally reached a breaking point? Or was the public simply reading too much into routine royal appearances? No one knew for certain. Then came the moment that truly captured attention. During another high-profile royal occasion, Catherine reportedly made a decision that surprised even longtime palace staff. Traditionally, certain announcements and acknowledgments follow a rigid hierarchy. Every word is carefully chosen. Every gesture carries meaning. Every appearance reflects centuries of precedent. But on this occasion, Catherine appeared to step outside the expected framework. Witnesses described her demeanor as calm but unmistakably firm. There was no visible conflict, no dramatic confrontation, no public argument. And yet the message seemed impossible to miss. For many observers, it felt as though Catherine was establishing a new boundary, a line that she believed should not be crossed. And according to growing speculation, that line involved protecting the future of the monarchy itself. The future represented by Prince William and their children. Palace insiders have long suggested that Catherine takes her responsibilities as future Queen extremely seriously. Every engagement, every charitable project, every public appearance is viewed through the lens of long-term service. Which is precisely why recent developments attracted so much attention. Because those closest to royal operations reportedly noticed a new level of determination. The Catherine appearing at events now looked more confident than ever, more prepared, more influential, and perhaps more willing to assert herself when necessary. As discussions intensified, attention once again shifted toward Camilla. Critics claimed she had overstepped her role. Supporters insisted she was being unfairly targeted. The truth remained hidden behind palace walls. One thing became increasingly clear: the perception of rivalry was growing, and perception within the royal family can often be just as powerful as reality. Then came a development nobody expected. A senior royal source reportedly revealed that private discussions had taken place among key household figures. The conversations were said to focus on future planning, public image, and the evolving roles of senior royals. While details remained confidential, timing immediately fueled speculation. Why now? Why were such discussions suddenly becoming urgent? And why did Catherine appear so central to them? Observers began connecting the dots: her recent public confidence, the reported scheduling disputes, the growing commentary surrounding Camilla, the subtle but noticeable shift in royal dynamics. Taken together, they painted a fascinating picture. A picture of a future queen preparing for greater responsibility. But there was one final twist. One moment that transformed whispers into headline news. During a gathering attended by some of the monarchy's most influential figures, Catherine reportedly made a move that insiders described as unexpected and deeply significant. The action itself seemed simple, yet within royal circles its meaning was enormous, because it suggested Catherine was no longer content to remain a passive observer. Instead, she appeared ready to protect her position, her family, and her vision for the monarchy's future. And according to those present, the reaction inside the room was immediate. Conversations stopped, expressions changed. Several attendees reportedly exchanged stunned looks. Experienced royal aides were caught off guard. What Catherine did next would become the subject of intense discussion throughout the palace. And it would place Queen Camilla in an increasingly uncomfortable spotlight. Because for the first time, Catherine's message was impossible to ignore. Princess of Wales had drawn her line, and everyone knew it. The days that followed were unlike anything royal watchers had seen in months. Speculation reached a fever pitch, newspaper columns filled with theories, television commentators debated every appearance. Social media users examined photographs, body language, and even seating arrangements in search of clues. Everyone wanted to know the same thing. Had Catherine deliberately challenged royal protocol, or was the public witnessing the emergence of a future queen determined to shape her own path? According to palace insiders, the answer may have been somewhere in between. Those familiar with Catherine's approach described her actions not as rebellion, but as leadership. Unlike dramatic royal disputes of the past, there were no emotional interviews, no public accusations, and no explosive statements. Instead, Catherine's response was measured, calculated, and remarkably effective. By remaining focused on her duties while quietly asserting her influence, she had managed to command attention without saying a single controversial word. For many observers, that was precisely what made the moment so powerful. Meanwhile, discussions surrounding Camilla continued to grow. Critics argued that recent events suggested an attempt to maintain influence over areas increasingly associated with the next generation of royals. Supporters dismissed such claims as speculation and insisted that internal palace adjustments were being exaggerated. Regardless of where the truth lay, one reality could not be ignored. Public perception was shifting. More and more people were looking toward Catherine as the defining figure of the monarchy's future. Every appearance reinforced that impression. Every engagement highlighted her growing confidence. Every public interaction strengthened her connection with supporters across the country and around the world. And perhaps that was the real story all along. Not a feud, not a confrontation, but a transition. Gradual shift from one royal era to another. As the future queen, Catherine's responsibilities will only continue to grow. With those responsibilities comes influence, visibility, and the expectation that she will help guide the monarchy through the challenges ahead. Recent events proved anything, it was that she appears ready for that role, ready to defend what she believes matters, ready to establish boundaries when necessary, and ready to ensure that the institution she will one day help lead remains focused on its future. As for Camilla, the controversy serves as yet another reminder that every move made by senior royals is scrutinized more intensely than ever before. Whether the reports were accurate or merely the product of palace rumor, episodes sparked conversations that are unlikely to disappear anytime soon. Because in the modern royal family, symbolism matters, gestures matter. Sometimes silence speaks louder than words. The palace may never reveal exactly what happened behind closed doors. The full story may remain known only to those who are present, but one thing is certain. The moment Catherine stepped forward and made her position clear, the conversation changed. No longer was she viewed simply as the patient future queen waiting quietly in the wings. She emerged as a central force within the monarchy's future. A woman prepared to lead, a woman prepared to act, and a woman prepared to draw a line when she believes that line has been crossed. Whether history ultimately views this episode as a minor misunderstanding or a major turning point remains to be seen. But for now, royal watchers agree on one thing: Catherine's message was heard, and Buckingham Palace may never be quite the same again.